To be more excited for this mindset moment because it's a continuation. This is what we do in the community. We have a coaching methodology with an acronym QUA, Q-U-A-A. Question, Q, underlying question, U, action, A, accountability. What you're looking at right now is accountability in action. So let's dive in and I'm going to walk you through something. I'm really proud of the team on this one. You guys, there are very few times where I want to be like, I want to brag on this. And I am. I'm going to brag on this team for making this come to life. Here's why. A big, powerful moment so that we can all collectively connect the dots and take action. So I want to get in. I want to explain to you exactly what happened soup to nuts. So we're going to talk about how to get your thoughts and ideas into action. And this came back from a recent coaching session. So in our October group coaching session, Jamie, the cabinet nerd, she raised her hand, she came on camera and she said, how do I start putting my thoughts and ideas into action? She says, I have so many, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start. Okay, so I asked Jamie to brain dump and prioritize. So right now, if you're watching this, what I wanted you to do is get everything that's going on, all the things you need to do, and just put them down and then prioritize them. I asked her to brain dump everything in her mind. I asked her to prioritize that list by items that would make the biggest impact. And then I asked her to share this list in the community. You will see this post in the community, but just because we're all here right now, I'm going to review Jamie's list now. And then I'm going to share some lessons that we all can apply regardless of your business or industry. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you feel like you don't know how to prioritize what next to do in your business, then this is the mindset moment for you. Let's dive in. This is what you're looking at. This was Jamie's post. So I have a list of 25 answers to where I am right now in my business. In an effort to save us time, I'm sticking to Jasmine's request for me to put them in order, what I believe are the most important places to start. So here goes a big uncorking of vulnerability. She listed 25 things. Now what we're going to be, 25 things. What she listed was 12. Here we go. I feel like a chaotic mess. The business is running me, not me running the business. Does anybody else feel that way? I feel like a chaotic mess. The business is running me. 2, I don't stick with my scheduling to work on X for Z amount of time. Anybody? You could write yes so that Jamie knows that she is not alone. 3, I'm not sure of or if I'm lacking confidence in my choice of the exact problem I'm solving in the marketplace. I am not client first driven. I am not motivated by money. I don't have measurable goals. I have half systems. I start my client process pretty well, then fall off in the middle and definitely the end. I'm charging different prices to different clients. I'm not collecting end of project feedback. I'm not evaluating my design solutions after the homeowner lives in their kitchen for a while. She creates cabinets and kitchens. 11, I want to get better at DIY marketing. 12, I don't know my numbers and want to get better at DIY booking. Okay. Does anybody look at Jamie's list and be like, this feels like me? Great. We're going to stop feeling certain ways about ourselves, and we are going to start doing things that prove things about ourselves. We are going to stop thinking about how we feel about things. We are going to start doing so we have proof of the actions we can take to make an impact. So this is what I want you to do. When you brain dump everything, just like Jamie did, what I want you to do is rate each of them on a scale of 1 to 10. How quickly can we take a tangible item off this list, right? So if you look at something and you give it a 2, you can't really do much with it to get a result, right? It's more of like a feeling. I feel disorganized. Okay, but what can we do here? I feel like I'm a mess, right? So we're going to break this down by actions. Once you have your list, then we're going to rate them 1 to 10. I'm going to show you how I did this in terms of what we did for Jamie. 10, if you give it a 10, I have a clear way of changing and getting measurable results. Number 1, this is a feeling. There's no clear way of changing or getting measurable results. This is the scale. Once you brain dump, this is the scale we're using. So This is Jamie's list, everything that she needed to get done. Now, I want to rate. Here we go. I don't stick to my boundaries, scheduling X for Z amount of time. I don't stick with my boundaries. Okay, that's a 2. You made a statement. I don't stick with it. Okay, this is an opinion. I don't stick. You could say, I need to, and I will create a schedule. But right now, what we listed is, it's an emotional feeling. I don't stick. Now, look at number 3. I am not sure, or I'm lacking the confidence in my choice of the exact problem I'm solving in the marketplace. Well, in my mind, if you were to choose the exact problem you're solving, you get a result. You can mark that off your list. The goal is to say, what can I get done with a result that I can change? I don't want you saying, I don't stick with my boundaries. That's a feeling. So either you're going to say, I'm going to change it and I'm going to get a result, or you could say, I don't know the exact problem I'm solving. Well, it sounds like we could figure this out. It sounds like you can make a list of problems you think you're solving and then pick one. And then you say, this is the exact problem I'm solving in the marketplace. Number 2, I am not client first driven. Okay, number 1, I don't even know what that means. And if you decide that you're not client first, guess what? You're not client first. Can you not just say, I'm client first driven? But there's not a way, like if you were to say, now I'm client first, what are we measuring? How do we get a result? So I just want to focus on things that we can get results. I'm not motivated by money. No problem. We're not going to get a result. If you were to say, I am motivated by money. Okay. It doesn't change in your actions. How do we measure if you are motivated, if you're not? And quite honestly, it doesn't make an impact in your business. I know plenty of entrepreneurs who are not motivated by money and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. So this right here, I don't think it needs to be solved right now, and I would push it far out of your head. Number 6, I don't have measurable goals. X sales in Q2 and then increase Q3 by 10%. I don't have measurable goals. I look at this and I say, make measurable goals. Make them. Literally, just start making goals. If you say, I want to make $4,000 in Q3, make your goal. And then guess what? At the end of Q3, you get to measure it. Did I hit my goal? Q4, I want to increase by 10%. Great. Well, 10% of $4,000 is $400. At the end of Q4, did you make $4,400? If you did, you have a measurable goal. Congratulations. Now we're just moving stuff out of your mind. This is solvable. I want us to focus on the solvable things on this list. And on your list, I want you to stay away from feelings, right? I want you to play, what actions can I get that get measurable results? I have half systems. I start my client process pretty well, then fall off. Okay, I have half systems. This is changeable and fully measurable. I have half systems. Great. Complete the system. Because once you complete the system, you can measure the difference in your client satisfaction and in your business productivity. I have a half system. What do you want? I want a full system. Make the full system. And if you make the full system and you're like, I did it wrong, then we fix the full system. And guess what? We measure that result. These are things that are highly measurable for us to drive our results. I'm charging different prices to different clients. That's a statement. It's starting to confusing and it feels like I'm lying. This is figure outable. Now, I want us to understand that in business, there are sliding scales of pricing, specifically in service-based businesses. When you say, I feel like I'm lying, you need to change that perspective. You would be lying if every kitchen in America was built the exact same way, on the same side of the house, on the same side of the elevation, in the same neck of the woods. That is the only way you can have the same standard pricing for everybody. But guess what, Jamie? That's not the truth. Every house is different, every foundation different, every location is different, the placements of pipings, everything is different. Your pricing will be different. And I'm sorry that's difficult, but that's the nature of your business. And in my mind, fully figure outable. You just have to say, I don't have set pricing, it's not fixed, and depending on what you want. Even if you were to design every kitchen the same in America, but some people wanted synthetic wood and some people wanted real oak, your pricing would be different. This is fully solvable. I'm charging different prices to different clients and it's getting confusing. This is solvable. Build out a system to where you stay organized. That's the system. And once you do that, you tell yourself, I'm not lying. I'm covering my cost and building out a profitable business. Now you just need to ask yourself, how do I build a pricing system? It's not even a pricing system. You go in and you give a quote and then you render that quote and you go in and you create a customer or client profile. Now, this is why people get very overwhelmed. It is the amount of small work that's needed to stay organized. So any business owner who's feeling like they're doing all the things in their business and they have no room to grow, it's time to reinvest in yourself. And no, I don't think you need to sign up for another course. Reinvestment can look like getting somebody who will help you put inputs into a computer software program. And you could do this with a VA from the Philippines. You could do this with a young college student. You could do this with a stay-at-home military mom who gets Jamie's notes after a bid and categorizes all of them for her. Or Jamie, you could simply say on Mondays, you're doing your bids and you sit your booty in a chair, you get your bids and you organize them. And guess what? Everybody has different prices, but it's fully measurable and you get results. I'm not collecting end of project feedback. You're not collecting it? Great. Let's build a system for when that happens. So when you close your client's accounts on December 1st, automatic emails get sent. You don't have to do it. You need to build the system to close that client account. And then 4 weeks later, the client on January 1st gets an email. Hi, Susan and Steve. I'm wondering to see how your kitchen is actually working out. Here is a quick 4-question survey via like a survey. And then you could go in and you could use Google, you could use Typeform, and all they have to do is click 1 through 5, how satisfied I am, things that I would change, what would make this better. And guess what? About 10% of the people who you follow up with the survey will respond. Many of them will not. Why? They've already paid you for their services, and what you're asking for them is their time. Most people don't want to give their time. Neither here nor there, but you build the system of the follow-up, and then the system's done. We don't get overwhelmed by the nature of what our business does. We build a system so that we stop getting overwhelmed. Do I sound like I have an attitude? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I haven't eaten this morning, so I'm a bit cranky. I'm doing intermittent fasting. We'll talk about that at a later point in time. 10, I'm not evaluating my design solutions after the homeowner lives in their kitchen for a while. Build the system to evaluate it. Do you need a reminder on your calendar 6 weeks after you close the event to follow up with Susan and Steve to see if you could pass by their house for 10 minutes and ask them a question about how the drawers are working out for them? Did they like the left-handed drawer opening? Do they like the simple closebacks? And guess what, Jamie? That's going to take time. But once you have the system, it's built into the system, and then it gets added to a calendar event when you want to go and visit your clients after. There's not a reason to get overwhelmed. We need to build the system so that we're organized. I want to get better at DIY marketing. Great. I want you to get better at DIY marketing, but that statement is not solvable. What is better? How much better? How do you measure it? What I would want you to say is, I want to stay committed for 30 days to be posting 3 times a week on social media. Now we have a plan, and we use Social Curator to use that plan and then get results. But to say, I want to get better, that's not measurable. And so you're just filling your head with things that aren't accomplishable. Now what I want you to do is to look at this and say, how do I get better? What do I consider better? Great. What do you consider better? Then we build a system towards it. I don't know my numbers and I want to get better at DIY bookkeeping. Well, here again, I want to get better at DIY bookkeeping. I don't know what better is. Better isn't measurable, but what is measurable here? I don't know my numbers. Know your numbers. First and foremost, if you want to get better at DIY bookkeeping, you have to put all of your client information in. If you're using QuickBooks, I want you to look at your QuickBooks every single week. And that's annoying because you're like, nothing much is changing. That's okay. It's just the act of looking at your numbers and being very cautious of where your money is going. This is just an act and a system that you're putting in. Half of 12 is solvable. The other half is not. I want to get better. What is better? Do you want to take a course? take the course. Do you want to look at it every week? Look at it every week. Do you want to say, I want to have 37% profitability? Then you better be looking at, if you're not at 37% profitability by the middle of the year, what do you need to change for the last 6 months of the year to increase your profitability? That is solvable, and we get results. So what I want you to do, Jamie, and anybody else who feels overwhelmed, is to take action on the highest ranked items. This is the one that you could solve with clear, measurable results. Why are we starting with the highest ranked? All of these are important to Jamie, all of them. But I am starting with the highest ranked because the minute you get a result, the minute you build a system for client follow-up, the minute you build a pricing structure that keeps you organized, the minute you get results from the action you did, nothing changes in your business except your self-confidence. Confidence is not something you're born with. Confidence is something that is created, but the only person who can create your confidence is you. You have to look back at things that you have done and said, I'm stacking a belief set on myself to prove that I am capable of the thing I want. But what happens is many of us stay stuck in, I'm so overwhelmed. And guess what? That's true. You are overwhelmed. And I'm very sorry that that's the case. But the only way you get unoverwhelmed, the only way you get underwhelmed is by taking action, measuring results, and building your confidence based on the past to prove what you can do in the future. So Jamie's top 3 based on my hot ghetto fabulous list is, I don't have measurable goals. Baby, make a list of your goals. You could do that right now. You could do that today. Number 2, I'm charging different prices to different clients. Yes, you are. Now you have measurable results because you have to tell yourself that what you are offering as a service-based cabinet builder is different. And so once you say, guess what? I am offering different prices. So now I need to build a system on how I get organized, tracking my clients' pricing. Number 3, I am unsure of the exact problem I'm solving in the marketplace. Pick a problem. Sit with the problem and try solving that problem. And if at the end of 6 to 8 months, you realize, oh, that's not really resonating with the problem that I'm solving, no problem. You get to change it. In the beginning of Social Curator, we firmly believed that we were solving the problem of time. We were solving the problem of not a lot of business owners had a lot of time to create social media marketing posts. And now we know that, yeah, maybe the problem is time, but what is the actual thing of it? It is the whole system. So Social Curator is building a system that empowers you, Jamie, to get not just better, to get concrete on what your social marketing strategy is going to be. We started off trying to solve for one problem and then realizing it wasn't resonant. Guess what? We're still surviving and thriving on the back end of it. And I believe you can too. So these are the key dominoes for Jamie. And remember, Jamie, I said, Jamie, you probably feel like you have 25 things to do. I said, I want you to brain dump. And guess what the girl came out with? 12, not 25. This is the pattern I see. Everybody says, I have 50 things to do. I have 100 things to do. And actually, when you brain dump, it's less than 15. So the key dominoes is Jamie pushes 3 dominoes and everything starts to fall in its place. Exactly. That's what breaks up overwhelm. So she takes action, everything else falls into place. Taking action involves writing your next steps or writing simple systems of how to do it in your business. Now, Jamie had 12 items. Maybe you have 2, maybe you have 20. It doesn't matter. I want you to focus on 3 of the top ranked items. And I want you to build a system. Now, people feel intimidated. What's a system? It's just a series of steps that you need to do. You've already done the steps. A system isn't new. A system isn't like, I need to go get my MBA to figure out my system. No. You've already been doing all the steps. What we want to do is we want to standardize the steps so you follow the same steps with every single client again and again. That way you get faster, you get smarter, and you optimize the system. When somebody says, oh, Jamie's like, I don't have clear goals. Ask, over the next 6 months, what is one thing I want to accomplish? It could be monetary. I want 5% more in profit. It could be not monetary. Create a course. Then we're going to determine what are the top 3 things that I need to accomplish this goal. If it's monetary, get 5% profit by signing 3 more clients. And I'm going to do this by posting on social media at least 3 times a week, creating an incentive for referrals, and collaborating with the local hardware store. What did we just do here? We created a plan. Do we know that this is the right plan? Do we know that it's the proven plan? Does this plan guarantee for success? Heck no. But it's a plan. And when we get results, we get to measure the results against our initiative. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to schedule, block time on your calendar to take regular action on these items over 6 months. Now you have clear goals. I'm charging different prices to different clients. Great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to review. What services have I offered over the past 2 years? What prices have I charged for each? Determine what 3 pricing packages could I create for future clients based on services I have frequently made in the past? What add-ons or customizations could I offer for clients who have unique requests? Still here, all of a sudden, what we're doing is saying, hey, is there a way for us to create packages, or is everything going to be a custom quote? If I create packages, well, what am I going to do with the add-ons? Because the add-ons are still going to make it a custom quote. It is okay. You are simply measuring your effectiveness and saying, how can I make it easier for myself to streamline the process? And then if you decide, listen, Jasmine, it's great. It's great that you say every client is going to get a different price. I don't want to run my business that way. I want 3 packages. Awesome. Great. You do you. You are the captain of your ship. Take your boat, ride it off into the sunset. If you want to do packages, awesome. If that's what you do, update your website. Let everybody know what that's going to be. We're going to streamline the new way that you are doing business. I'm unsure of the problem I'm solving in the marketplace. Okay. If you're literally not sure, anybody's here is like, I have a business, I'm not sure my problem. We're going to review. What have past clients said to me after I've completed work for them? What do I enjoy most about the work I've done? How do they feel? Then we're going to review. What common trends can I see about the clients that I've had? Maybe I've only had 3. Did any of the 3 say something similar about you? Am I helping clients stay organized on top of their chaotic lives? Am I providing a beautiful space so they're able to enjoy it at home? Then you're going to decide, hey, based on this information, what problem am I solving? Hey, like I said before, take your best guess. Take your best guess. But the minute you decide is the minute you set a clear course of action to get results. So here are the next steps for us all. Brain dump. Get all of your thoughts and ideas on paper. And then what I want you to do is to give them a number, 1 to 10. 10, there's a clear way of changing and getting measurable results. Number 1, this is a feeling. I can change my feeling if I decide. Can't measure it. Then we're going to take action on the top 3 items of that list. And then you're going to write the next steps, and you're going to create simple systems for each step. This is what we do on the inside of the Social Curator community, y'all. I know people are like, Jasmine, why do you yell at me? I'm not yelling. Tengo pasión. I am passionate about your success. I want to shake you and hug you and say, everything you want is on the other side of being consistent. Everything you want is on the other side of taking action, scrappy action, scary action, awful action, determined action. Because when you take the action, then you have the ability to look back and say that I have done everything I possibly could and I get stronger with every decision. Remember, if you don't know what action to take, it's just taking any action. Your action leads to clarity. And like always, we are here to help you. This is what we do as a community on the inside of Social Curator. Y'all are our members and our users who make us better. You can email us help@socialcurator.com. Now, for our users, when you're in the chat area, you can click help and support in the sidebar. That will bring you up during our normal regular office hours. We got a real person on the other side of it. And like always, here in the community, ask your questions. I don't know, y'all, there is richness. There is riches and niches, and there are so many niches on the inside of this community. Y'all, it is always an honor and a privilege to have these conversations and radically change the way you're doing business. Because I know you're not here because, oh, you want a social media plan and marketing is your love language. I know you're here because you have something to say, do, create, make, or give into this world. And I want to make sure that the most amount of people know about what it is that you do so that you create a successful business, not for yourself, but the future employees that you build, not for yourself, but that your children can see the things that you're doing, not for yourself, because somebody else who looks like you, sounds like you, is your age, from your demographic, who's Black, brown, too old, too white, too dumb, too smart, too rich, too privileged, too poor, that somebody doesn't look at you and say, that person's doing it. I can do it too. Thank you so much for being on the inside of Social Curator. Friends, it is an honor and it is a privilege. Much love and mad respect. Go out and do what it is you do, share what it is you know, and then come back in the community and share your success with us. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.